Okay, well, I'm Jorge, and this is Cesar, and we are here to talk about the controversial topic of school lunches, which I put the air quotes because some people don't believe that it's like actually lunch. They kind of think it sort of sucks, but we'll get to more on that about that later.
Okay. Well, so far that we know of, the history is that school that like lunches was first initiated in 1853 by this group to like feed the children that were going to this avocational school. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And with that, like a few years later, it would Robert Hunter would end up writing a book that would like help influence, well, not influence, but like back up the idea of serving kids, like serving hungry kids food, and like mostly the people who go to school. And like with that, many throughout like the years, many schools like around like the 13, well, not 13, but like the original like states, and then like from the east coast to the west coast, all of the all of like the schools around would like start beginning to create these programs that would help hungry children get food that they needed. Okay, in 1966, the Child Nutrition Act was passed, which would make the National School Lunch Program, which would help give kids the nutrition necessary for them to be healthy in school, and which would extend later on in the years by making a special milk program, which would have like milk, especially for the kids, uh, like in nursery homes or in tenement houses or in summer camps. This was also a program that was non-profit, so it would not only help kids, but it would help like everybody like spread the word of this. Also, in the present, Michelle Obama has been reinforcing all of the nutrition facts that, well, not the nutrition facts, but like all the food that the schools are giving to the children, and like she wants like healthier options for the students to take. But with that, there have been many flaws, and eagnews.org, it talks about all the flaws that it has. Like for example, with all the like restrictions that the school have for all the nutritions, many of them don't give like enough food that will like fill up the kids throughout the day, and like many people say that if a kid is well nutritioned, they're able to learn and like be have a better attitude towards others, and with them having like limited amount of like food to give, many kids aren't eating. Like there have been cases reported of like kids in schools not just like throwing away all their vegetables and fruits rather than eating them. And with that, the schools are losing more money. Like in New York City, a district lost $100,000, while in Indiana they would lose $300,000 because of the kids not wanting to eat the food that they have, but no other option of like getting more food. They have to deal with what they have.
Not only are like they wasting the money, but they are also basically throwing it down into the trash can, since the kids aren't even like eating it; they're just throwing it away.
And with the malnutritions, many of the athletes in schools have like not eaten. So when they're in practice, many of the coaches say that they worry about like their students getting hungry throughout practice, which will make them perform less or make them like have more medical problems. Like in case they have malnutrition, they could like have a weaker immune system or like any other that will lead to that will like that are related to like them not eating enough food. What the government can do is to get rid of the federal lunch program, since many of the school districts are not only dropping but are thinking of dropping it. It would make sense to just stop it and make each school create their lunch menu, which not only will make the school not lose money, but it will also like get into the interest of the kids, which will make their profits grow and make sure that most of the kids eat what they're eating, since it's gonna actually fill them up rather than make them want to throw the food away.
And our personal opinion about the school lunch is that it actually kind of sucks. I personally find the food kind of tasteless, and people say that it's nutritious. Like the lunch lady, when we interviewed her, she said that this was 9+ food, or that she would rate it on a scale from 1 through 10, 10 being the best, that it was a 9+, and that she would personally feed this to her children, and that she actually has fed it to her children in the past. We also, but then we interviewed three other students who, two of whom get lunch on a daily basis. They say that they get lunch in the cafeteria just because they don't like walking all the way back to the taco truck where they have to wait in a giant line for overpriced food that is not even like that shouldn't even be certified as food, since sometimes it's kind of grody.
No, that's true.
And then in the cafeteria, it's food that is funded by the state or by the school. We expect it to at least be pretty good, but most students dislike the food. They don't find it nutritious. They find no flavor in it. And the one person we interviewed that said that didn't get lunch said it was because she didn't like what she didn't like the food, and that would she doesn't think that it's worth her time to spend some of her lunchtime waiting in line for food that is no good to her at all. She also stated that she'd rather wake up early in the morning to make her own lunch instead of having to wait in line for the school lunch. So, what should the school do, or what can it do? I think we can maybe make a petition or some for all the people who get lunch on a daily basis. We can talk to the person in charge of the fund budget for the school cafeteria. Maybe maybe even talk to some of the cafeteria ladies to see if they would be willing to put a little. Maybe I'm not saying they don't put in work, but maybe even a little more work to make better food for us. If we can, or we can just get like a special day where they make like a special dish that everybody can enjoy, and maybe basically a great food, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's our project, and hope you sign our petition.